Hello and welcome to another episode of Not Another IG Model. Today's episode, of course, is going to be a story time on my worst date ever. So, of course, if this is not your first time on the channel, definitely welcome back. If this is your first time, go ahead and knock it on out. Join the team, be on the team with the kid, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share, do all that. Okay, but definitely hit the subscribe button. But anyway, before I did my revamp, I did like an Instagram poll on if I should do a video on like my pet peeves or my worst day ever. And the poll won the worst day ever, but then I forgot to record it. So now I'm doing it now. So we're just gonna jump right in. Definitely my worst date ever took place maybe like has it been a few years now? Anyway, I was living in Charlotte at the time. And, it was this club called Bubble. They always had like day parties, always had something going on. Bubble used to be jumping. So me and my roommate, Nicole, at the time went to Bubble. And, with me, sometimes if I just kind of don't want to really entertain somebody, I'll just give them my number so that way, we could just go our separate ways. Like, I don't want any conflict or a scene or people to, because sometimes dudes, you tell them no and they get in their feelings. It's like, I don't all the time want to deal with the rah. So sometimes just to get you out of my face, to allow both of us to go on with our nights, I'll just go ahead and give you my number and go about my business. So I don't remember meeting this individual. I don't remember our interaction, but I'm pretty sure I just gave him my number to kind of get him on my face, go about my night, whatever. So the next morning, I get a text message, and I'm just like, oh, this must have been somebody that, of course, I met last night at Bubble. So he's saying, oh, yeah, I met y'all on y'all way into the club. And I'm just like, I don't really remember that. But anyway, we're texting back and forth. And, he was funny. He was very funny. He had really good conversation. I think we talked on the phone once. But yeah, so just like anytime you're dating somebody or you're just meeting somebody, they're always like, oh, send a picture. And as annoying as it is, it's kind of one of those things that you just know comes with it. Like, it's just something that comes with it. So, of course, he asked me for a picture, so I sent him a picture. And he sends me a picture. Now, when he sends me a picture, I'm like, I gave my phone number to Shrek. He was not attractive. He was not very cute. I didn't find him attractive at all. And, it could have just been a horrible picture that he sent or, whatever the case may be. So I was telling my roommate, I was like, girl, oh my God, like, I have really just been talking to Shrek this whole time. And she was just like, well, Jonte, give it a chance. Like, you said the conversation was good. You said it was funny. So, like, come on, give it a chance. So I thought about it and I was just like, that's a good point. Like, I don't want to be that girl who's just so shallow. And, if the conversation is good, if he seems like a good guy, he's funny, he has all these good qualities, like, why not give it a chance? Like, don't be so shallow and rude. Because I was like, if somebody said that about me, my feelings would be hurt. Like, I would feel some type of way. So I was like, you know what? My homegirl is right. My friend is right. Let me go ahead and give it a shot. So we scheduled a date. And when I used to work in Charlotte, I worked late. So I worked from 2 to 11. So I was like, hey, these are my off days. But if you want to do something sooner, it'll have to be kind of late night because I get off late. So he's like, okay, cool. There's no problem. I know of this restaurant that doesn't stop cooking food until like 1:30. So I'm like, okay, perfect. Cool. That works. So after work, I go home, I change, meet him at this restaurant. Now, the restaurant that we went to, I'd been there myself before. I'd been there for brunch. I'd been there for dinner. Like, it wasn't a restaurant that I didn't know of. So I was like perfectly fine with going there. So we get to the restaurant and I'm like, okay, he's not that unattractive as I thought. It was a bad picture. He wasn't like super cute or like, oh my gosh, like beating the door down. Fine. But anyway, So we're at the date, and I mean, I had a really good time. So I mean, we're just having conversation. We had a few drinks. He was really, really funny. And you know, sometimes when people are funny, everything they say is not funny. So I was, you know, giving him a few pity giggles. You know, like, it's not as funny, but I'ma just give you a couple extra laughs, like, you know, that kind of thing. Just because, you know, you're still being nice. You know, it's the first date. Like, let's keep it real cute. But he was funny. Like, he was genuinely funny. We had a genuinely good conversation. I was having a good time. So it's like the restaurant's closing. It's like almost 2 o'clock in the morning. And I'm just like, you know what? I was so proud of myself. Because I was like, you know what, Jonte? This is kudos to you, girl. Like, I'm mentally giving myself a pat on the back. I'm like, you know, you really took this opportunity to not be shallow, to not be disrespectful, to not just, you know, be that skin deep kind of girl. And you know, you took a chance. You went out on a limb and you had a good time. You met somebody who you felt like was a genuinely good person. Now, of course, the title of this story time is Worst Date Ever. So clearly it's about to go left very, very quickly. So the end of the night comes, and already in my head, I'm like, you know, if he says that if he asks, you know, for a second date, I'm completely with it. Like, boom. So we leave the restaurant. Of course, he pays for the tab, whatever. And, you know, he walks me to my car. So he walks me to my car. He gives me a hug. He's like, I had a really good time. And I was just, now this is our conversation. So he walks into my car. He gives me a hug. He's like, you know, I had a really good time. And I was like, yeah, I had a really good time too. We should do this again. And he's like, well, I don't want the night to end. So I'm just like, you know, still in a good mood, still proud of myself. I'm just like, well, you know, it's like 2 o'clock in the morning. So, you know, there's no really bar that's going to be open. I was like, and I don't really want to go to a strip club because really the strip club is the only thing open until like 5. And I didn't want to go to a strip club. To be honest, I didn't have the attire on for a strip club. I just did not want to go to a strip club. So I was like, you know, there's really nothing else for us to do. I don't want to go to a strip club. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. So I was like, but we should definitely do this again sometime. Like, it's okay if the night ends. Like, I'm agreeing to another date. So again, he goes, well, you know, I just don't want the night to end. I feel like I deserve more. So now, you know what I'm saying? I'm starting to get an attitude. You know, I'm starting to, like, it's starting to sink in really what the hell this fool is saying. So one thing that I used to have a quick temper. I used to get an attitude really quick, you know, when I was younger. And I'm not really old, but, you know, whatever. But as I've gotten older, I've realized that sometimes it's best to make sure that you have all the information before you go off. Because you may prematurely snap. You may make an assumption and then go crazy off an assumption. So I'm trying to gather all the clues because I feel like I know what he's trying to say. But the thing about the kid, you're going to have to come out and say it. Like, if you're going to be a man and present the situation that I think you're trying to present, you're going to have to come out and say it. So now I'm just like, you know, what do you mean? Like, I was like, you know, I've agreed to a second date. So when you say you deserve more, what do you mean? So this ass looks me in my eyes and says, well, you know, I've spent all this money on you tonight and I feel like I deserve more. So I live across the street. You should come up and spend the night with me. So by this time, I'm on fire. Like, I can feel the temperature rising on my body. I can feel chills coming up my arms. I can feel my nose sweating. I'm like, I'm gonna really kill this man. Like, how dare you tell me that because you took me out to dinner that you deserve for me to spend the night with you and sleep with you? Are you stupid? Are you dumb? Are you remedial? Are you slow? Are you stupid? First of all, the thing that was so disrespectful to me is the fact that he is not cute. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm coming out here on a limb. I accepted a date from Shrek, and you and your ogre looking ass gonna have the nerve to tell me that because you took me out to dinner, I owe you something. I owe you my body. I owe you my body. Like, I was so disgusted. I was so enraged. And I was just really kind of disappointed because I was so, like, 10 minutes before the conversation started, I was so proud of myself for being open and and look how it backfires. And, you know, people always say, you know, talk to a dude that's not really that cute because, you know, they gonna do you right. No. Dudes will be dudes, will be dudes, will be dudes. Ugly, short, tall, cute, fine, too fine. It don't matter. So I was just like, you know, in my head, he keeps talking about money. He keeps bringing up money. Oh, all the money I spent. Oh, all the money I spent. All the money I spent. So I'm thinking like, we went to a regular ass restaurant. We didn't even go to like no $100 a plate spot or no spot that was really super expensive to the point that you felt like my body was the only way to repay you for what you spent. So I had a salmon plate. It was a nice piece of salmon with some mashed potatoes, asparagus, and I had like 2.5 shots of Hennessy. So let's go ahead and do the math. Let's say my plate was $30. Cool. Now, let's say that it was $10 a shot. So that's $30 for the meal, $25 for the alcohol that I consumed. And I had a water with lemon, which I'm pretty sure they don't charge for that. So let's just include in the tip, that's $55. Let's just go ahead. No, that's 60. No, that's 55. 30 and 25 is 55. But let's go ahead and add the tip. $5 tip for my portion. So let's just round it up to 60. So you mean to tell me that you feel that $60 entitles you to me, to my body? Now, I don't believe that a woman's body and, you know, a woman's vagina has a price tag. I really don't believe in such things. However, I'm pretty damn sure if it did, it would be more than some raggedy ass $60. It would be more than a salmon plate with mashed potatoes, asparagus. It would be more than 2.5 shots of Hennessy and a glass of water with lemon and lime because I'm a lady. I'm pretty sure it would be just a tad bit more than that. So for you to think that you spending $60 on me entitles me to spend the night with you, you must be out your rabbit ass, Shrek looking ass mind. Okay? Okay? So, like, when I first started dating, my dad always told me never be in a situation that you can't get yourself out of. So always have cash. If you need to get a taxi, you know, if whatever the case may be, if he act crazy with the bill, always have cash. My dad always told me that. So I had about $200 cash on me because I didn't really know where we were going. While I was at work, we were still deciding, like, finalizing the plans of the restaurant. So I had like $200 cash on me. So he keeps bringing up money, talking about money, talking about money, talking about money. So me, I'm just like, you know, I'm not going to blank on him. I'm not going to claw his eyes out. I'm not going to uppercut him in the chest. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to try to take a crowbar to his legs and break his legs. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and end the night and go about my business. So I was like, so he's still talking. I'm just like, okay, how much? And he's like, how much? How much for what? I'm like, how much for my half of the bill? Because I'll go ahead and give you your money back. And he was like, oh, no. It's not about the money. It's not about the money. I got it. Like, I was like, no. You keep talking about money, so it must be about the money. You keep talking to me about how much you spent, so it must be about the money. So I was like, take the take the bill, split it in half, give me the number, I'll give you your money back. Like it's nothing. I'll give you your money back. That way you don't feel like I owe you anything and we can go our separate ways, whatever the case may be. He's like, oh, no, it's not about the money. I'm like, well, stop talking to me about money. Stop talking to me about what you spent, because you really didn't even spend no money. You brought me to a restaurant where I take myself. You brought me to a restaurant that I would take, like I've done this for myself. So you can't really hang this over my head. If I do it for myself, it's not impressive for you to do it for me. If this is a place I take myself for brunch, for dinner, for whatever the case may be, you're not really impressing me by doing it. You know what I'm saying? I buy myself Hennessy. You buying me Hennessy ain't showing me nothing. I'll take myself to Fleming's. Okay? And I'll spend $130 on myself for a meal. So you spending $60 on this raggedy ass salmon plate, you're not showing me nothing. You're not impressing me. So you trying to make it seem like this small gesture at this basic ass restaurant that I could do for myself entitles you to something, and I owe you something, you out your damn mind. So, the night is over. He's just like, okay, well, never mind, yada, yada. So I get in my car, I speed off, and I'm just like, it's just so crazy to me that some dudes really do feel like, oh, well, I did this, this, and this, so you owe me this. I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you a damn thing, Shrek. I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you to text you back. I don't owe you to give you a call. I don't owe you to feed into you. I don't owe you to give you a compliment. I don't owe you to meet you up for this date. I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you nothing. 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 I owe you zilch. Nada. Zero. I don't owe you nothing, homeboy. I buy myself salmon. I buy myself Hennessy. I owe you to beat your ass. I owe you to call somebody up here to beat you up. That's what I owe you. I owe you an uppercut to the testicles. That's what I owe you. How disrespectful you are. That's what I owe you. I owe you poking your eyes out, gouging, clawing your eyes out. That's what you're owed. You're owed bodily harm, disrespect. That's what you're owed. Rude, disrespectful. Anyway, that was definitely like my worst date. Like I've been in some situations where, dating is awkward and dating is very kind of weird, especially in like the beginning phases, because you're kind of trying to feel people out and you don't know if this is how they really are. They're just acting this way just because y'all just started dating, or if the real them is gonna come out. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of gray area when you're dating. So I know it can get weird, but I never in my life would have thought that I'd never been in that situation before. I never would have thought somebody would approach me like that. So that is why, despite the weird dates I've had, the uncomfortable dates I've had, the awkward dates I've had, the dates I'm just like, what am I even doing here? That was by far the worst, because I'd never been approached like that. And it was just so disrespectful and just like, it was horrible. So that is my worst date. I don't think anything will ever top that. I mean, of course, I'm not dating anymore, but yeah, that's definitely the worst. But that's just my little horrible dating story. And of course, we can, the experiences that I've had, I don't mind people using that for entertainment purposes, because my mom thought it was funny. All my friends thought it was funny. It was kind of crazy. But I feel like life comes with experiences that you learn from, that you grow from, and then that, of course, you can tell other people so they can laugh and think it's funny and use it as entertainment and, tell somebody else. So y'all can take my pain and my struggles and my disrespect and use it for your entertainment purposes. Okay? Because that's what real friends are. Y'all are my friends. Y'all are a part of the team with the kid, and I can, tell you all things like this, and it'll be okay. But of course, that is it for me today. I'm kind of over it, just reliving that. But, we'll just let it go. So, of course, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Also, let me know your worst date. Let me know, like, that one date that you were just like, oh, my God, like, this is the worst. This is the most ridiculous thing. Let me know. Y'all use my pain for entertainment. So, give me yours. You know what I'm saying? Pay it forward. But of course, I do appreciate you all for spending a little time with me with my story. And of course, be back for the Get Ready With Me. Of course, we go over this nice little neutral look. Feeling very golden. I love this glitter. But yeah, so we'll have that as well. We'll have the Get Ready With Me coming up. But of course, I greatly appreciate you. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here with the kid. And for that, I thank you. Until next time, bye.